now you're just another brick in the wall.
So I don't want to just review good movies here, everybody. Sometimes it's fun to do a bad movie because, I mean, who are we kidding? Bad movies are fun to do. The movie I'm talking about is The Faculty from 1998. It's directed by Robert Rodriguez, and it stars, let's see here. It stars Usher. I'm being serious, by the way. Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, Famke Janssen, Clea Duvall, Jordana Brewster. I think I hit everybody I should have. It has the bad guy from Happy Gilmore in it. Oh, and it's got Aunt Nora from Jumanji, and it's got Lori Pippen and Robert Patrick from Terminator. He's, the T-1000. And so basically this movie is like a teenage version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Basically these aliens that look like that thing that goes in Neo's belly button from the Matrix are like going into people's ears and taking them over. And it's starting though in this little high school. I think it was called Harrington High. And it's just this small group of misfit kids. They can take him down because, of course, you have Elijah Wood, who plays the nerd. He's a really smart kid, etc. He's really awkward. You have Clea Duvall as the really weird kind of goth chick, but she's got the inner beauty. Because, of course, right? You have Jordana Brewster, who plays the popular girl, but she's also really mean. You have this other guy who plays like the jock. And, of course, you've got Josh Hartnett playing the stoner that, is just out there to cause trouble, he's a super senior, Wait, did I just describe the main characters from The Faculty, or did I just describe the main characters from The Breakfast Club? Yeah, basically, the best way I can describe this movie is it is Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets The Breakfast Club meets the Scream movies, because it totally tries to do that meta humor, and while at times it works, for the most part it doesn't. It's kind of stupid. It's a dumb gimmick that just did not work. But what's interesting about this is, like, when I was watching, I was like, if they ever remade this, they should totally just have Kevin Williamson write it, because at least he's good with his meta humor, because he's the guy who wrote Scream. Little did I know, end credits roll around, screenplay by Kevin Williamson. I'm like, geez, okay, obviously. Well, never mind. He's not the greatest screenwriter. I mean, he did a fine job with the Scream movies, but God, this, and he did that Cursed movie, and he also did I Know What You Did Last Summer, so not the best track record. And this, I gotta say, does not feel like a Robert Rodriguez film at all, especially in the time when this is when he was doing the El Mariachi movies, and then he does this. It's really weird, kind of jarring, and he does a fine job, just, I don't know. Now, I don't want to completely poop on this movie, because there are things about it that are good. Like Elijah Wood, he's like the main character, he's like the hero, which of course, because Elijah Wood's always got to be the hero, whether he's fighting off aliens in this, or Sauron in Lord of the Rings, or even Macaulay Culkin in that one movie where Macaulay Culkin played a serial killer. If you've never seen it or heard of it, go look it up. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head, but this thing, I think it's called The Good Child. Oh my god, yeah, okay. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, Elijah Wood's definitely the best part of it. He's a really, really likable kid. I mean, whatever. Who wouldn't expect that? The problem is every other actor in this movie. Now, of course, there are a couple of decent performances. I take it back. Robert Patrick, forgot about him. Dude steals the movie. He's so over the top in the best way possible. Like, he plays the football coach who is a lunatic. Like, he's the definition of a lunatic. I would pay to see a movie just about him. He was so likable and awesome. I mean, not likable in a good way. He's a jerk, but he's funny. I mean, there were a couple of decent performances, but for the most part, at least for the kids, the main characters, they're not good. Like, at all. Especially Josh Hartnett. He is not a good actor. But for whatever reason, the 90s, Josh Hartnett was to the late 90s what Sam Worthington and Jai Courtney have been to the late 2000s, 2010s. Like, stop trying to make him happen. It's not going to work. It just isn't. If it would've, it would've. And obviously, Josh Hartnett never did work because, like, what has he done since? He was in 5 Seconds of Sin City. He was in one decent movie, 28 Days, or 20 Days, 20 Nights, or something like that. But, like, other than that, or 20 Days of Night, I don't know. But, like, other than that, I mean, this guy, he's so unlikable. He's not a good actor. He was the worst part of Halloween H2O, and he is the worst part of this movie. Or, I take it back. Usher is the worst part of this movie because the dude cannot act. He's so unlikable. You just want to break the kid's head in. Oh my, he is so awful. The CGI is terrible. Even for 90s CGI, like, there's no way this looked good in the 90s. There was a part where a character has their head, the head somehow gets decapitated from the rest of the body, and it sprouts legs and starts crawling. It's supposed to, be like, oh my god, like that scene in The Thing. Difference is the CGI is horrible, and the scene in The Thing used real effects. That scene is actually kind of creepy. This scene is not. It's just a tutorial of how not to do CGI, really. And, I think the biggest problem I have with this movie is that it's a pretentious movie. Like, it totally thinks it is so much better than it is. It's so pretentious, and, like, it's so meta-humor, and, like, a bunch of winks at the camera, and breaking the fourth wall kind of stuff, and, like, it totally does it in this way, like, it's like, I'm smart and I know it. This is what Scream is. For slasher movies, except we're doing it for the sci-fi alien invasion movie. And it's not. Had it just been a generic horror movie, that would have been fine. Because then it'd just be entertaining to watch. And while this movie is somewhat entertaining to watch, I mean, it's not an awful movie. I don't want you guys to think that. It's just extremely mediocre. And at times it kind of made me angry. The worst thing you can do is make main characters that are unlikable. And while there were a couple of them that are likable, for every likable one, there was also one unlikable one. For instance, Clea Duvall's character didn't care for her. This new girl from, like, Mississippi or whatever, she was sort of a main character, but she literally would only do some, when the plot called for it. Josh Hartnett was awful and he made me mad. Jordana Brewster, if she wasn't so attractive, she would have made me angry too. But at a time, she's okay. Elijah Wood definitely is the thing that saves the movie. I mean, seriously, it does. And there are parts where the meta-humor does work. There are moments like when they're talking about maybe George maybe Lucas and Spielberg and Emmerich, maybe they actually, like, know about aliens, and this is, like, they use movies as kind of like their secret message. Like, they do some of that the movie reference stuff, and I do like that. But other than that, most of the meta-humor just did not work for me at all. It's only like an hour and 44 minutes, so it's not, a horrible watch, and it's on Netflix right now. If you have nothing else, I recommend, I guess, at least, if you like sci-fi films or horror movies, I would say check it out, just for the sheer novelty. If you're a Robert Rodriguez fan, I'd say check it out. Once again, sheer novelty. If you just like good movies and you just want, on a Friday night to watch a really good movie, do not watch this movie because it's just going to make you mad or you're going to fall asleep because it's not that good. I mean, is it awful? No. Is it bad? Not really. It's just really mediocre. So in the end, I am going to have to give this movie a C. There are a few redeeming things about it. I guess it has some bit of rewatchability due to the fact that it can be enjoyed and it's not overly long, and there are cool, funny things about it and decent things, but it's, yeah, it's just not that good. I'm just gonna be honest here. It just isn't.